right.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, young people.
I know, right? Amen.
Truly a blessing. We want to use this thought today, guys. Prepare for the journey. Prepare for the journey. Prepare for the journey. I know we think kickoff is at 1 o'clock, right?
Amen.
1 o'clock. We have the New England Patriots who they may be undefeated. Yeah. Till today.
Amen.
Till today. I have faith that it can happen on any given Sunday. Any given Sunday. Team can lose.
Right.
Amen. Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. But we want to use this thought today. Prepare for the journey. Let us pray. God, we are thankful for life and for the journey we're on with you.
Yes, God.
Lord, we thank you for loving us so much that you're helping us to prepare for this journey with you, this journey through life and all that it brings and all that may come up against us. God, help us to be prepared for it. As we look at your word, God, we ask that you would give us some insight, some understanding, some wisdom, some knowledge today that maybe we didn't have yesterday. Help us to have a better understanding of this journey that we're on with you. Help us to be clear about where it is that we are going and what it is that we need in order to walk with you. Thank you for everything that you have already done in our lives, and we look forward to the things that you're going to do. So God, would you please speak to us today? Would you shed some light on your word for us today? Help us to just be better today than we were yesterday. Open our ears, our hearts, our minds, so that we would know that we have heard from you. God, I ask that you would forgive me of my sins and my transgressions and iniquities, and though you know that they are many, would you please forgive me of them so that I may just be an instrument that you have at your disposal. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Prepare for the journey. Now, some of you, maybe most of you know, that last weekend, Pam and I celebrated our anniversary.
Yay.
And we went away for a kind of like a weekend trip where we just decided to kind of get away and just have some fun. And so last weekend we took this trip that I had posed to her probably over a month ago. I said, you know what, honey, let's go somewhere for our anniversary. Let's just go somewhere and go away and do something. So she said, okay, where do you want to go? I said to her, probably in husband form too. I said, I don't know. She said, okay. So you want to go away, but you don't know where you want to go. I said, that's about right. Yeah. I don't know. So she said, well, what do you want to do?
Right.
Better question to ask, maybe. I said to her, I don't know.
You know what?
But I did tell her, I said, look, I'll think about it and we talk about it again. Okay. So she said, okay. So I say to her, I say, you know what, on the 30th, that Monday I have off, so let's just kind of make it a nice little weekend, and we don't even have to come back on Sunday, if you can take off from work on Monday, we'll come back Monday afternoon, evening, something like that. And she said, okay, all right. She said, it sounds good. So do you figure out where we going? I said, no. So a few days later, she's like, okay, have you thought about like what you want to do, where we could go for our anniversary and just have some time together? I said, yes, I have thought about it. I said, I thought about it. Oh, so then she's like, okay, so where we gonna go? I said, I don't know. I've been looking at different places, but I'm not sure. So then finally, another couple days go by, and she asked me again, you say you want to go take this trip.
Right.
And we're going to go celebrate. Have you figured out where we can go? I said, yes. Let's go to Charlotte.
Okay.
She said, North Carolina? I said, yeah. She said, oh, okay, well, do you know someone in Charlotte that we can, why do you want to go to Charlotte?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't know.
You married him.
She said, well, do you know, like, someone you want to go visit
Right, Pat.
in Charlotte so that we can kind of hang out with them? I said, well, Melvin and Sherelle, they live in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
She said, oh, okay, so are you going to call Melvin and Sherelle? And I said, no. So she says, well, what is it in Charlotte that you want to see? Why Charlotte?
Right.
I said, I don't know. We've never been there.
Okay. Works for me.
I said, okay. So we decide that we're in agreement that we're going to go. She says, all right, let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. So we decide that, yes, we're in agreement. We're going to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, celebrate our anniversary. So she says a few days later, she says, do you know what we can do in Charlotte? Are there some attractions that you'd like to see or anything? I said, I don't know. I've never been there.
Right.
So I don't know if there's anything really fun to do or not. So I'm going somewhere with this. So she says, all right, well then you got to kind of figure out like what we're going to do, where we're going to. She said, do you know where we're going to stay? I said, no, I don't know. I said, however, I do know this. I said, I would like to stay in the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh, okay.
She said, you got Ritz-Carlton?
Money.
I said, no, but I know Lula works in Ritz-Carlton.
Ah.
See, I learned some years ago, and this has stuck with me because a lot of stuff doesn't stick.
All right.
But someone told me a long time ago when we were in Myrtle Beach.
Right.
Someone told me, he said, never go and travel and stay somewhere that is beneath where you just left.
Ooh.
He said, don't go paying to stay in a place that is beneath the comforts of your own home. In other words, he's saying, look, you remember the guy told us that? Right? He's like, you ought to either stay in some place that's comparable or step up. But don't go spend the money staying in some place that's like, it's worse than home.
Right.
So I said, Ritz-Carlton. I said, so I said, okay. So instantly I move into like my creative mode. I call Lula, right? And I say, Lula, because see, Lula works for Ritz-Carlton, and Ritz-Carlton have these benefits that that a family or a friend can stay in a Ritz-Carlton or one of their hotels and not have to pay the same rate as a regular guest.
Right.
So because I know her,
Right.
oh shoot, I have access to something
That's right.
I can't normally afford.
Right.
I mean, that's another message.
Yeah.
But so I say to her, I say, look, I'd like to stay at the Ritz-Carlton. So I started doing my research and stuff, and the Ritz-Carlton didn't have any rooms available for the weekend that we wanted to go. So I took the next one beneath that.
Okay.
The next one beneath that, I think it was some kind of Renaissance place. So I've secured the hotel accommodations, right? And Pam is like, okay, all right, good. What are we gonna do while we're in Charlotte? I said, I don't know. We can figure that out when we get there, right? That's not a big deal to me. Whenever we get there, we figure that out. She says, no. She said, so she starts in Pam form, because she's the planner. I'm not. I just have ideas and stuff. And she starts planning like all this stuff. I'm like, well, we're not gonna be there that long. I mean, and she starts sending me stuff, putting stuff on the calendar. We're gonna go here, we're gonna go here, we can go. And I'm like, well, we're not gonna be there that long. But because she wants to be prepared when we get there,
Right.
we have this whole list of stuff that she wants us to do. So Saturday comes, right? And James, I had to work that morning for a few hours, and then I knew we were going to leave right after I finished work, and we were going to head to Charlotte, right? And I'm calling Pam on the way home from school on Saturday morning and just kind of making sure that she's ready. Mr. Hart, I'm like, okay, are you ready? Doesn't take me long to get ready. Doesn't take me long to pack at all. So she hits me with this. She says, do you know how long it's going to take us to get to Charlotte? I said, no. She said, you don't know? She said, I put the address of the hotel in the GPS, in the navigation and stuff. She said, you don't know how long it's going to take us? I said, no, maybe about 4 or 5 hours, maybe. Because when we go to my father-in-law's, he lives in North Carolina, yeah, I didn't find that out until we were in the driveway getting ready to leave.
Right.
And I'm like, it's going to take us 7 hours. And she's like, you know it's going to be a 7-hour drive, right? And I'm like, oh. Well, I can't tell you what I said. I'm like, oh, but I'm like, we're committed now. I mean, we gotta go, right? We have to go now because we've made a reservation and stuff. We've packed.
Right.
We've put the stuff, put our luggage and stuff in the car, but it's a 7-hour drive. Now it made sense to me when we were telling people we were going to go to Charlotte for the weekend.
Right.
They would say, well, where y'all flying out from? I didn't know. I didn't really get prepared for what was ahead. I wanted to take this journey.
Right.
but I wasn't really prepared because I didn't do what was necessary, and now I'm committed. I'm in it. She wants to go. I want to go. And we're in the car, and it's like the GPS, yeah, about 7 hours, you'll get there.
Right.
And it dawned on me that just like you prepare for a physical journey,
Right.
that on this journey called life, you must be prepared, because if you don't prepare properly,
Yes.
the stuff you experience on this journey called life
Yes.
can have you in a place where you might not even want to live life. That's where Elijah is.
Come on now.
Elijah is in a space now, he's in a headspace where he doesn't even want to live, and he's on a journey that he's walking with God, but yet he's not totally prepared for the journey.
All right.
There's some things that he has to make sure that there's some intangibles for this journey that he is on, that he has to make sure that they are in place. And if you and I are not prepared for this thing called life, life can deal you some stuff that can have you in a place where you feel like it's not even worth me living this thing called life anymore.
Been there.
So let's look at this. Let's look at Elijah as he's on this journey, and there's some intangible things that he needs for the journey. One of the first thing is that if you're on this journey called life, you desperately need clarification about your journey. Yeah, you need to be clear about who you are
Oh yeah.
and where you're headed.
All right.
Let's look at it verses 1 through 4, because this is really interesting. Ahab told Jezebel, now they're married, King Ahab, Queen Jezebel, everything Elijah had done and how he had killed all the prophets with the sword. So Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah to say, may the gods deal with me, be it ever so severely, if by this time tomorrow I do not make your life like that of one of them. In other words, she's threatening him.
Right.
Elijah was afraid, check this out, and ran for his life.
I know that's right, Elijah.
But now get this, when he came to Beersheba in Judah, he left his servant there while he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness. Now check this out. He came to a broom bush, sat down under it, it's a tree, and prayed that he might die.
Here we go.
He says, I have had enough, Lord.
That's right.
He said, take my life. I am no better than my ancestors. Now you have to check this out. Check out. See, King Ahab and Queen Jezebel were the king and queen of Israel. So they have the charge of the kingdom, right? And Ahab and Jezebel began flirting with worshiping the god of Baal, right? So they are starting now to develop this movement of people to follow them and worship Baal rather than continuing to worship God.
Right.
They are trying to influence people. They even get so many prophets and people who will speak on behalf of Baal to follow them and walk with them and go with them and be an influence with them over the kingdom that they are in charge of. Elijah, on the other hand, continues to walk with God and be on his journey with God. And so he is in opposition to Ahab and Jezebel. Elijah continues to worship God, the God of Israel. Ahab and Jezebel are starting to do this thing called where they worship Baal. Right? And they're trying to garner a following. Here, I think it's in the chapter before this, Elijah has a showdown with Ahab and Jezebel and their prophets and stuff, and comes to prove that the God of Israel is the true God. So it threatens, get this, it threatens Ahab and Jezebel and what they're trying to do. They're the ones in charge. They're the powers to be, and they don't want anything coming against what it is that they're doing.
Right.
So Elijah has come against them and said, no, it's the God of Israel who is the true and living God, not the God of Baal. So Ahab and Jezebel now want Elijah killed because he's coming against their authority. Elijah now is in a space, in a headspace now where he's running for his life because the king and queen want him killed.
That's right. That's right.
She sends out a threat that I am going to kill you.
Okay. That's a reason to run. Good reason.
She sends out word, I'm going to kill you.
Right.
He runs for his life. But then gets in the desert, in the wilderness, and prays to God that I want to die.
Okay.
Kind of crazy.
Come on now, Pastor.
Yeah.
See, you have to be clear about who you are, where you're going.
Right.
Because there's stuff in this world, in the social construct that Elijah lives in. She's the queen.
Yeah.
Ahab is the king.
Right.
If they put a hit out on you, it needs to be carried out.
Yeah.
That's right. It's done.
But he runs for his life, but gets to the desert, to the wilderness, and prays to God that I want to die.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, if you really want to die, she could oblige you.
All right. For real. Talk about that part.
That's why it's important for you to be clear about who you are
Yes.
and where you're going.
Yeah.
Because you can live in a social structure
Yes.
that seeks to destroy you and can have you in a mental state where you feel like I am of no value.
Yes. Come on now.
Preach, Pastor. That's the part I'm talking about. Preach.
The powers that be want him dead.
Uh-huh.
He in fact says in his mind and in his prayer that I want to die. But yet he runs for his life.
Right.
See, you have to be careful in this crazy world we live in.
Yes. Yes.
Because we live in a society that is not going to uplift your blackness.
That's right.
No.
Yeah.
We live in a society where the value of a life of a person of color
Yes.
doesn't equate to the same value of the life of somebody else.
Yeah, I recognize.
We saw that this week.
Mm-hmm.
We were reminded again this week when little Geiger girl gets 10 years. a black man who's sitting in his own apartment, minding his own doggone business. I mean, you can't be black and go to Starbucks now. You can't be black and have a traffic violation. You can't be black, go to college, and sit in the common area without being harassed. Now you can't be black and stay in your own residence.
No, you can't.
You gotta be clear about who you are. Because this society is gonna put so much pressure on you as a person of color, so that you may even get to a place where you feel like you don't even want to live yourself.
Okay. So we understand him.
Because of the pressure from the top. Elijah's in a headspace where he doesn't even want to live.
No.
And I wish we had time to deal with the mental part of that. It's not, maybe another time, but you have to have clarification and be clear.
Yes.
When you're on this journey called life, in this yet to be United States of America, you have to be exceptionally clear with who you are and where you're going.
Amen.
Clarification is important for the journey of life. Second thing, though, because we're going to wrap up in just a couple minutes. Clarification is important.
Yes.
But secondly, communication.
Yes.
You have to make sure you're connected and communicating with somebody who's greater than you.
Yes.
Let's look at it, verse 5 and 6. It says, then he lay down under the bush and fell asleep. Now check this out. All at once, an angel touched him and said, get up and eat.
Get up. Come on now.
He looked around, and there by his head was some bread baked over hot coals
Come on, God.
in a jar of water. He ate and drank and then lay down again.
Look at that.
See, understand something about God. That on this journey that we are on with him, that you have to make sure that you're communicating with him and hearing him when he's communicating with you.
Come on, Pastor.
See, God will communicate with you through the ordinariness of every single day.
Yes.
He'll use people, he'll use angelic beings, he'll use situations, he'll use circumstances to communicate with you and to give you the message and to give you what you need in order to make it on your journey. He tells him, get up and eat.
Get up. Come on now.
Remember, he's in the wilderness. Get up and eat. And there by his head was some bread baked over hot coals and a jar of water. That's one thing I love about God is that on your journey with God, God will not only communicate with you, but he'll provide for you everything that you need in order to make the journey. But you got to make sure you're paying attention to the communication that God is having with you, because what God will do is set up for you, right next to you, that which you need to go on the journey with him, but you got to be conscious of it.
Yes, that's the key.
Thank you, God.
Because you see, if you get dictated to by what this society says, and you don't have communication with somebody greater than you, you'll take what this society says.
Oh, big news.
Oh yeah, you'll take it, internalize it, and then it becomes a part of you.
Right.
You have to make sure that you're in communication with God on this journey. Amen. Last thing. Told you we're going to go. Clarification is necessary.
That's right.
Because on this journey, you need to be clear. Because sometimes there are going to be things that you face
Yes, Pastor.
that will make you doubt even you.
Yes.
And if you're not clear about you, this world will chew you up,
And
spit you out,
Yes.
have you confused,
Yes.
and so messed up and jacked up by following the messages and the communication that come on television, that come on radio, that heck, sometimes even in our own church, and sometimes in our communities, in our neighborhood. You've got to have a communication, a connection with somebody greater than you who's going to encourage you and empower you when people around you are trying to pull you down.
Yes.
Thank
Better
you,
recognize.
God. Thank you, God.
So clarification and communication are critical. Last thing, this last intangible that Elijah, that we see that he has is confirmation. There's clarification about the journey. There's communication. But lastly, he needs confirmation. Remember, he's running for his life.
Yeah. Okay.
The king and queen of Israel have a hit out on him.
Can you get any words?
This is like this. He needs confirmation
Yes.
that God is still with him. I don't know if you've ever been there before,
Yes.
but I've had many moments in my life where I needed a confirmation from God.
Yes.
Because see, people will turn their backs on you. People, you find yourself going through something. People will distance themselves from you. They'll turn away from you. They won't be there for you when you need them. And every now and then you're going to have a circumstance or a situation where you need the confirmation of God that God is still with me. Let's look at it in verses 7 and 8. It says, the angel of the Lord came back a second time and touched him and said, get up and eat. And check this out. He said, for the journey is too much for you.
Okay.
So he got up and ate and drank. Strengthened by that food, he traveled 40 days and 40 nights until he reached Horeb, the mountain of God. So he got up, verse 8 says, and ate and drank. And check this out. Strengthened by that food.
Come on, that.
He traveled for 40 days and 40 nights until he reached Horeb, the mountain of God. Here what happens to Elijah is that the angel comes back to him again.
Right.
Remember, he ate and drank once and went back to sleep.
That's right.
The angel comes back to him again and confirms what happened the first time, just in case he was confused about what's going on. And the angel says, get up and eat again. And because the angel knows something, that the journey you're on is too much for you. You don't have enough yourself to pay for what you're about to go through. You don't have enough money. You don't have enough strength to deal with what's about to happen to you. So you need to get up and eat and be strengthened so that you can keep going on your journey. All I'm trying to show you, my brothers and my sisters, is that you and I, in our own humanness, we don't have enough capacity to deal with everything that we're going to have to deal with on this journey called life. But thank God we got somebody who loves us more than we even love ourselves, who will confirm for us that I am with you, my child. Have you ever been there where you had some situation going on in your life and you didn't know whether or not you were going to make it? You didn't know. The doctors couldn't even figure out what was going on with you. But somehow or another, the Lord confirmed with you that, my brother, my sister, it's going to be all right. You're going to be fine on this journey. Don't you worry about this. Don't you fuss. Don't you fret. You'll be fine. You might not have all that it takes to go on this journey, but thank God there's somebody stronger than us who watches over us, cares for us, and keeps us. Listen, I'm through, but you have to go. I do want to share with you this last part of the journey when Pam and I went to Charlotte. So we get to the hotel, and when you go to the hotel, right, and you're staying in the hotel that Lula is associated with, you have to give them a confirmation letter. Oh my God. Okay. The confirmation letter is the letter that states that you're either a friend or a family member of the employee that works for this chain, and you have to give that letter to those that the persons that are at the front desk so that they can check you in to the hotel that you're staying in. Well, because I'm such a super planner, I didn't ask Lula for the letter before we left. So we called her from the driveway, and we're like, Lula, guess what? Somebody forgot the letter. And because Pam knew that we had a 7-hour drive, she said, Lula, whenever you get to your computer, can you just please email us the letter, and we'll print the letter off once we get to the hotel, because we're going to be in the car for a long time. So somewhere around hour 2 or 3, we get the email from Lula that here's your confirmation. Right? So once we get to the hotel, the front desk clerk says, okay, what's your name? And you're checking in. Good, you made a reservation. He says, do you have your confirmation letter? I said, look, I don't have it on me personally, but if I could use your computer, I could print it off for you. He says, well, just go step over into the lobby, into the business center of the hotel, and use the computer there. So I get over to the business center, and I print off the confirmation letter. What do you know? What do you think happened? I start walking up to the front desk like,
You got the swag on now.
because, see, look, I can walk differently because I got confirmation. See, I couldn't necessarily afford to stay there on my own, but because I know somebody, good God Almighty, I don't know if you've ever been there before, where you didn't have enough on your own, but because you knew somebody, because you knew God, because you walked with Jesus, because you know Him, He's opened up doors that your own ability couldn't open up for you. He's healed you of diseases that doctors couldn't even figure out. He's opened up windows that you couldn't even climb in yourself. All because you had confirmation that I walk with God. I journey with God. Have you ever been there when God's done something for you that you couldn't do on your own? But somehow or another, because you know Him. Because you know Him. Because you know Him. Not because of people around me, because I know Him.
Thank you, Lord.
Not because of where I live.
Thank you, Lord.
Oh, if the truth were told, some of us wouldn't live where we live if it was up to us. It's only but by His grace that you drive what you drive, that you work where you work, that you live where you live.
It is what it is, Pastor.
It's something about being prepared for this journey.
Yes, Lord.
If you're not prepared, this journey can squeeze the life out of you.
Yes, won't it?
Go ahead.
But when you're clear about who I am
Yes. And who's like, you better believe.
and who I belong to, when I'm clear about that,
Thank you, Lord.
when I'm connected with somebody greater than me,
Thank you, Lord. Yeah,
because there's stuff that I can't handle.
Yeah.
I need somebody stronger than me to handle it for me.
Yes.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
And every now and then he'll confirm it
Yes, you will.
and let you know that I'm still with you.
Yes, you will. That's right. Yes, you will.
Just keep on going. I'm still
Yes, you will.
walking
Thank you,
with you.
God.
Yeah, it may not feel like it,
Thank you, God.
but I'm still with you.
Thank you, God.
All because we get prepared. If we could just rest on our feet for just a moment.